So if you ever want to know who a country really doesn't like, all you gotta do is watch one of their action movies. I mean, think about it. Every time the United States makes an action movie, who's the bad guy? British people. And you know, every time Asians make an action movie, who's the bad guy? Westerners, aka us.
Cause if I only had 100
Ip Man 3 is the third movie about the life of legendary Wing Chun master Ip Man, and it stars Donnie Yen. And I want to start off by telling you I'm a huge fan of these movies. I mean, Ip Man 1, Ip Man 2 kind of blew up on Netflix. That's where I first heard about it from. But ever since then, I've been a huge fan. They've even made some other little Ip Man movies on Netflix and here and there, but I'm happy they made another one. Alright, so in Ip Man 3, it's 10 years after Ip Man has moved to Hong Kong. He's a little older, a little wiser, and now he's at the stage of his life where he just wants to settle down and relax and, you know, kind of take it easy. But of course, there's always someone trying to take his throne. Well, in this movie, there's a young guy who's a Wing Chun master as well, and he just wants to be famous like Ip Man. So, of course, ultimately, they have to battle. So there's a secondary conflict going on as well, where there's a Western businessman played by Mike Tyson who's coming in and he's basically causing problems in Ip Man City. And of course the people turn to Ip Man to clean it up. Alright, for starters, Donnie Yen as Ip Man has always been a good choice for me. I mean, Donnie Yen to me is like our current martial arts guy. I mean, I grew up watching the Van Dams and the Jet Lis and the Jackie Chans, and I feel like Donnie Yen is the new version to those great legends. Now, his acting in this movie is pretty good. I mean, but you can't expect much. He plays primarily the same role. He's a kung fu master and he's kicking ass. Now, the surrounding cast, I hate to say it, they were boo-boo. I did not like the acting, but with that being said, the cast surrounding Donnie elevated Donnie's game in my opinion, because there's a moment in the movie where Donnie has to do a little bit more of a serious acting part because it's a little bit more of a dramatic scene, and I feel like because of what he's been surrounded around in the whole movie, it makes his dramatic part that much more believable. Now, Mike Tyson, he did good when it was time to do what Mike does, which is throw fists. When him and Ip Man get into their fight, I think it was great. It was actually probably my favorite fight in the movie. But his actual acting was garbage. And the voiceovers, oh my God, you could tell that the Chinese that he was speaking, the Cantonese, I think that's the language, it was dubbed. You could tell. I mean, every time he spoke, he had his back turned or someone was between him. I mean, he said a couple of lines and you could tell that he said them. But man, I don't speak Cantonese, but I know that was not right. Now that we got all that out of the way, let's talk about what we really wanted to hear about. The fighting. The fighting is always good in these movies. Whoever the choreographer for these action scenes does an amazing job. And they never fail at letting you see that Ip Man is the man. I mean, he takes on one expert and destroys him, while he takes on 100 thugs and beats him. But either way, the action is great. I mean, there's this one scene where he has this fight in the elevator and his wife's present, and man, I mean, he was fighting a guy who was a great fighter, but the whole time protecting his wife, redirecting licks that were about to hit his wife. But I don't want to say too much about it, but it was great. Again, the fight scene with Mike Tyson was phenomenal. Again, probably my favorite. And the final fight, sorry, Mike Tyson wasn't the final fight. The final fight was a great one as well. It was between two Wing Chun masters. But the action is great. And I think that's why we all go to these movies. Alright, so I'm going to wrap this review up right here. And I know it was a pretty quick one, but I mean, with a martial arts movie, there isn't really much to talk about. Because face it, don't we all watch it for the martial arts? And the martial arts in this movie was great. The acting, for what you could expect from a movie like this, was okay. It did its job. Donnie Yen did pretty good. Mike Tyson did good, again, when he had to fight. His acting, not so much. The storyline in this was pretty good. I feel like this Ip Man, they tried to go a little deeper. Normally it's just one conflict, then bam, on to the main scene and the movie's over. And this one, they had a few conflicts. He had internal struggle, he had external struggle. So I think they did a good job on that. And again, I love Donnie Yen. Now, with that being said, if I had to rate this movie, I would say that it's a midday matinee. Alright, that about does it for this review. So as always, whether you liked it or whether you hated it, comment below and let me know. But if you liked it and you thought this video rocked, like, comment, and subscribe below to see more from me, Mike Proc. Till next time.
Cause if I only had 100 fans, I'd take them all to dinner, talk about the people that we used to be.